What's up, y'all? BK back here with CliffPickleball to bring you the best pickleball content. So in this video, we wanted to go over a very technical aspect of the game, something that is important for advanced players to know and something that really will help you take your game to that next level. It's not something that you're going to hear a lot about because it's a very specific detail on a specific defensive play, but we believe it's really important for you to know how to defend this shot so that you can extend points and keep yourselves in games versus just being able to finish points in 3 or 4 shots. So today we're going to learn how to defend the overhead smash. Let's do it.
The support have been amazing with the various paddle. Thank you for support the paddle. Don't forget, if you want to get yours, one of the spinners paddle on the market, check the link in the description below. And this is your way also to support CliffPickleball so we can keep bringing you more awesome content.
Now, the overhead smash is a shot in pickleball where your opponent gets a really high ball and they're simply able to smack that ball as hard as they can downward in what we call a put away shot. This shot is designed to finish the point and put away the ball. However, if you can learn to position yourself in the right place and learn how to defend the shot, you're going to be able to extend points and get longer points so that you can get back into it and win more pickleball games. So in this video, we're going to go over the mechanics, the strategy, the positioning, and all the different things that go into defending the overhead smash. So let's go right ahead. Now, anytime you're defending, the first thing you want to have is recognition. You want to know as soon as you hit a ball, whether the next ball that's going to come at you is going to be an attacking shot or a defensive shot. If you pop up the ball, immediately you should recognize that that next ball is going to be attacked, which means now you should try and position yourself in the best possible place to defend that shot. So what recognition is basically when you're on the court, every time you hit a ball, you should be able to tell whether that next ball is going to be sped up, dropped, dinked, whatever it is, you should be able to tell so that now you're able to anticipate and position yourself in the right place for the next shot. When it comes to defending the overhead smash or defending in general, recognition is super important because that helps you set up early. Anytime you're able to set up early, now you can let just the paddle do the talking and you take all the other parts of the game out of the equation. So as far as overhead smash recognition goes, as soon as you see that ball pop up into the air, into your opponent's arc of their swing path for that overhead motion, you're going to come and set yourself in what we call the defensive stance. The defensive stance is where you're going to be about shoulder width apart and you're going to get low. You want to make sure you get low because most put away balls will come downward, so it's always going to be dipping below the net when it's coming to you. Anything that comes flat on a put away shot is always going to go out because there's so much power on the ball. So you don't have to worry about balls about chest high because all of those putaways that are going chest high will be sailing out, so you could just dodge them. What you really want to cover is the balls that are coming down low. So again, your feet a little over shoulder width apart, get really low, and have your paddle ready to defend on the backhand side. This is really important because the backhand gives you the best ability to defend a ball. Either with one hand or two hands, this has the best leverage on your shoulder and on your arm to take the power away from the ball so that now you can hit a softer shot into the kitchen and put that ball back over the net without giving them another put away. So again, shoulder width apart, get low, position yourself on the backhand side. Now that you're here on the backhand side, this also allows you to swing freely through your arm. There's no blockage of motion on your backhand side because your shoulder is able to arc all the way through. So this is exactly what you want to do, is you want to get there and really just use your backhand all the way across, even on the other side of your body, to defend, because that's going to give you the best stability without having your body in the way, which is what will happen if you defend forehand. If you try to defend forehand too much, anytime you're trying to cut across your body, your body's in the way of your arm and you're not going to be able to get to the other side. So it's always easier to defend on your backhand side. Now, the other really common misconception in pickleball is that you should never get off the kitchen line once you're at the line. When you're defending, it honestly is a better idea to take a step or two behind the line to give yourself more time to defend this next ball. If you're standing right at the kitchen line and your opponent is at their kitchen line ready to put away a ball, you have very little time to react to whatever's coming at you. Whereas if you can take a couple steps back, on defense and now wait for the ball, you're going to be in a much better position to see the ball coming and then react to it without having to depend too much on your reflexes, and there's less chance that you get body bagged in the process. So again, don't worry about conceding the kitchen, especially when you're in a defensive position, as that's going to allow you to get more time to put the ball and reset it so that you can get yourself back to the kitchen line. The game is a very fluid game, so you never want to just get stuck in a static position. If getting off the kitchen line is going to give you an advantage, make sure that you use that as well. Now, once you recognize that a put away is about to happen and you get into your defensive stance, the next thing you want to do is anticipate where the ball might go. It's normally pretty easy to tell based on someone's swinging arc which direction the ball is going to go in. So that will always help you anticipate where the ball is going to go, so you can set yourself up there without having to move too much of your arm or too much of your feet, so that now all you have to do is just get contact on that ball. So what I like to do is, as soon as if I pop up a ball into my opponent's swinging arc, first thing I want to make sure is, are they going to hit their forehand side or their backhand side? Most putaways will go cross court or right down the middle. It's very hard to hit a putaway down the line. So what you're going to do is, anytime that ball goes really high up in the air, most people are going to cross court swing across because that's the natural arc of the shoulder. So you always want to defend that cross court first. So if my opponent is right across from me and I'm standing here and I pop up the ball, most of the time that shot is going to go towards the middle or towards my partner, because that's the easiest way to put away the ball. So in this case, I'm going to take a step towards the middle and cover my backhand arc, whereas my partner is going to do the same thing and take a step towards their sideline and try to cover their backhand side. This is going to be the best possible position to anticipate where that put away is going to go, so that we can get the ball back. Now, if the same thing happens and I pop up this ball into the person standing across from me, but it's on their backhand side, again, the easiest thing for them to do is hit a cross-court backhand, which is now going to come into my left corner. So now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and defend this line, whereas my partner will now come in and try to defend the middle. It's going to be very hard for my opponent, when they're standing on this side of the court, to hit a backhand put away to that corner. It's very hard to open this paddle up, and that's a very inconsistent shot. The easiest way to put away the ball is to just hit it right down this line or hit it through the middle, because that's going to give you the swing arc that you need to put away the ball. So those are the balls that I want to cover. The next thing I'm looking for as far as anticipation goes is my opponent's footwork. Most people will stand straight across and just swing. However, a lot of advanced players will also try the little scorpion shot or the tomahawk, where now they're going to try and attack that angle. But to do so, a lot of them will open their body up to create that angle. So what you really want to do is watch for their feet and watch for their shoulders. If you're seeing that their shoulder turns that way in an overhead and their paddle's coming up, a lot of the time they're going to try to exploit that angle. So anticipate the angle and move towards that direction if you see them opening up their shoulders. This squaring of the shoulders is the direction that you want to try and be when you're defending an overhead. So if my opponents are shoulders squared on, I'm going to stand right across from them and try to defend. Whereas if my opponents have their shoulders opened up, I'm going to try and defend that angle. I'm always going to try and defend where their shoulder's facing if they have a very flat swing. Now, a lot of tennis players will open up the shoulder this way, but this position, I can always tell with the footwork that they're going to come back square across. So when they're actually making contact with the ball, their shoulder is still square on towards that direction. So that's what I'm watching for. Even though they start here, I know that their finishing motion is going to have their shoulders square on in that direction, and that's where the ball is going to go. Now, if they're trying to exploit that angle, their finishing motion is going to have their shoulders face that way. So this is my tell of which direction that ball is most likely to go. Again, this is not a 100% science, and it's going to take a very long time for you to recognize all these different aspects of the game. But again, that's what these tips are, this is a very advanced tip that you're gonna be able to put into practice. And once you do find yourself recognizing these small, minute body language changes, you're gonna be able to put a lot more balls back and defend more balls, and that's gonna allow you to win more points. So the last thing you need to know to defend the overhead is, now that we're able to recognize and anticipate where the ball is going to come and position ourselves in the best possible place to get the ball back, now it comes down to our contact. What we want to do on the contact point with most overhead smashes or put away balls is we want to try and reset the ball into the kitchen. Anytime somebody's trying to put away the ball is going to come at you with some power. That power is what you should utilize to put the ball back into the kitchen. You don't need to generate your own on these shots because the ball is coming in with such heat that all you need to do is simply deflect that power back onto their court. The way you are going to do that is to loosen this grip. Most people will tense up as soon as that ball goes up into the air, and that's a very normal process. Is as soon as you see somebody's about to attack the ball, there's a need to kind of tense up and jerk. Whereas if you do that, now you're going to keep feeding them more pop-ups. What you want to do is calm your body down and loosen this grip a little, so that now when you're in the right position, ready to defend this ball, you're able to simply open up the paddle face, have a looser grip on here, and just contact that ball to take away all the power because of your looser grip. That's now going to simply put the ball over the net and into the kitchen. If you tense up and try to jerk into this ball, that power is going to go right back up in the air, and now your opponent has another put away and another put away and another put away until they win the point. Your goal is to stop them from hitting that shot and get the ball into a neutral position so you can get back into the point. So again, soft hands are really, really important when it comes to defending the overhead smash. We hope you enjoyed that video and learned a little something about how to defend overhead smashes. Again, this was a very advanced technique, so make sure that you're going out there and putting this into practice. It will take a while to get down the recognition and the anticipation, but don't give up. We know that you can do it, and we guarantee that these tips will help you defend more overhead smashes, keep more points alive, and win more pickleball games. As always, I've been BK. You can follow me at BK_pickleball on Instagram, and check out my YouTube channel, BK Pickleball. Also, make sure to subscribe below to CliffPickleball, and until next time, we'll see you later.